is being recorded and will be shared onto the school's website, the Dallas ISD website, and on Dallas ISD social media channels, including YouTube. So this is an alert that this meeting is being recorded.
Good evening and welcome. I'm going to give some brief instructions on how to listen to this meeting in Spanish, and then we will officially start the meeting. Buenas tardes. En unos momentos vamos a empezar a interpretar al español. Y si desea escuchar esta presentación en español, pueden seleccionar la opción en español en la parte inferior derecha de la pantalla, en el mundo cuando aparezca. Si por algún motivo no escucha, el intérprete regresa al inglés y vuelva a intentar la opción en español. Si aún no funciona, por favor avisarnos por el chat. Desafortunadamente, la opción de interpretación no es compatible con las computadoras Chromebook. Les recomendamos que intente entrar a la reunión utilizando un teléfono celular, ya sea iPhone o Android, una computadora PC, iPad o tablet para escuchar la reunión en español, o por Dallas ISD en español en Facebook. Go ahead, Jackie.
Welcome, everyone. English and Spanish interpretation is now available. Principal, if you would go ahead and begin the meeting. Principal Robertson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ms. Chandra Robertson. I am the proud, excited principal of the Charles A. Gill Elementary School for the 2020-2021 school year. I first want to begin by thanking everyone for attending our meeting tonight in regard to our bond proposal. We're really excited to get our work going. Just to give you guys a little bit of background about the awesome things that's going on at Charles A. Gill, home of the Bulldogs. We're currently in the process of really ensuring safety first with everything going on with COVID, of course. We have about 50% of our students on campus currently at this time and 50% learning virtually. So we are ensuring a lot of safety precautions and just making sure that our scholars, faculty, and staff are truly learning in an environment that is safe for them. Also, we're very, very excited about the near upcoming work that will be done to our campus. Lots of exciting renovations, lots of safety systems and items that will be put in place for our scholars, for our faculty and staff. And we're just really thrilled to get some of the work done. So very excited to be here, very excited to serve the Bryan Adams community, and extremely pumped about being your new principal for the Charles A. Gill Elementary School. Thank you again for being here. And I want to pass it over to our awesome trustee, Mr. Dan Mishke. He said he would like to say a few words as well.
Well, thank you very much. There's some great things happening at Gill. I also want to mention that Executive Director Damian Stovall, the former principal at Gill back a few years ago, is also on the call. And these major renovations that we'll be doing to the school are the result of the 2015 bond program, which was passed in about 5 years ago in November of 2015. We're really excited. It'll give the school a new look. It'll make the school safer and more functional. I think you'll be really impressed by the changes. Particularly, you'll appreciate the safety features as well as the new gym and the expanded cafeteria and the improvements to the classrooms. So without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to the to the team, the bond team that's been working on this, and also to thank you for being here, and to thank the public for supporting our schools and supporting our bond programs. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Seth Stevens. I'm the architect on this project. I've been working closely with the previous principal, Shaki Freeland, as well as Sandra Robertson, and the bond office, including David Downing and Kid Quick. I believe Kid Quick is on the call from DISD. So we started this project about a year ago in the design phase, more or less. And as Trustee mentioned, this is part of the 2015 bond program. I know there's probably exciting things happening in the 2020, but that's fresh off the books. So it'll be a little while before that one gets going on any projects. So we'll get going on this project. So the general, there's two major parts of this. There's the renovations and the additions. So the renovations has a lot of kitchen expansions and cafeteria upgrades. The existing gymnasium is going to be turned into a cafeteria instead of a gymnasium. The administration office, which was very small and kind of weird to find, is going to be retrofitted and fully upgraded to a new secured vestibule and reception area. We'll get new classroom interiors pretty much in the whole building, paint, ceilings, lights, new marker boards, tack boards, that sort of stuff, flooring. And then the PA and fire alarm system was long past due for replacement, so those are going to be replaced as well. Some of the exterior improvements, the existing entrance is going to get kind of spruced up a little bit. We're going to improve the accessibility. One very noticeable thing from the outside will be the window replacement. So all the 1950s buildings, which are really inefficient and have been kind of piecemeal replaced over the years, those will all get kind of replaced with a new system, highly efficient, and should pay dividends for the district and be much more comfortable for the students moving forward. So a lot of mechanical system replacements and upgrades that are happening, electrical upgrades, replacements, and water lines and sewer lines are going to get replaced throughout the building as well. So not everything is really easy to see, especially electrical, mechanical, and water lines, but those are very critical for building user satisfaction and making sure the kids are comfortable, the staff's comfortable, and giving them the most appropriate learning environment we can. The other big part of it is the addition. So there's going to be a gymnasium addition, which is also a tornado shelter. And this is going to be large enough to house 840 students and faculty, which is basically the bulk of the staff and students at capacity of the building, which is going to have a basketball court, volleyball court, 3 restrooms, an office, and a storage room. The construction is not underway yet. We're expecting that to get started this spring. The bidding is nearly complete now, so we should have the bids back this week. We'll be evaluating those, and those will go to the board later in the winter, and then we'll get started in construction hopefully before summer of next year. And currently the proposed project completion is summer of 2022, so we're still a little ways off before everything is all said and done. But along the way, there'll be incremental renovations going on in kind of pods, and so it will be a process, but everything should be all finished by summer 2022. So just a couple pictures of the existing building if you haven't been out there for a little while. You can kind of notice the old windows with the little white shutters. This is the existing reception admin area. Existing gymnasium. All in all, the interior of this building hasn't seen major renovations or retrofits for quite some time. I think at some point they added the AC in the building, but aside from that, it's in a mostly original state. So this is the site plan. We've got the kind of entrance renovation upgrades in the front. We've got a little connection corridor to get you people back to the gym, and then we have the gym back here. Not shown on this is there was a playground where this number 3 was. There'll be a new playground off to the side. It's just not shown in the site plan. So it will be there. It's just not graphically shown. This kind of just shows the general spaces getting the renovations, mostly classrooms, getting paint finishes, mechanical, HVAC upgrades. The number 14 over here is a big area. This is it used to be the cafeteria and also the kitchen, but the kitchen was very small. So expanding the kitchen to be basically the entirety of the old cafeteria, and then the old gym will become the dining area. And then the new gym will be kind of off on the east side here, sort of centrally located within all the classrooms. So if there is a tornado related event, people can get there a little easier, and it's sort of centrally located. Second floor, it's also going to get some upgrades, mostly classrooms. And then I actually believe there's a couple little other things that aren't shown here. The staff workroom that's getting some upgrades, and then a little restroom over here that's getting some upgrades as well. So the renderings are kind of an artistic representation of what you can kind of expect when everything's all said and done. We've got some new materials going on the front, some more integrated accessible ramps, planting areas. And then the new entrance will be similar to where the old entrance is, but it'll have a new access control system and security vestibule inside there, which we'll see in just a second. This big block here is the tornado shelter. There are some small windows on the back, just so you don't feel like you're in a bunker. They are tornado rated windows. They're on several projects nowadays, but it's a good improvement in technology, which still gets you some light into the tornado shelters. Moving inside, this is the old entrance area. So if you go in the building today, the entrance to the old admin was kind of right here where this little trophy case was. So we'll fill that in, give them some display case area, do some new finishes in this area. When you come in the new door and you go to the right, there'll be a new reception desk, some display area, and then you'll get directed, if appropriate, to move into the building. And this image is kind of looking back towards the reception and the security vestibule. We'll put some new finishes on the walls on both sides. This is the auditorium to the left. The admin and security vestibule is directly ahead on this picture. The new dining area, this is the former gym. It still looks a little bit like a gym, but we'll get new finishes everywhere, some acoustical panels, new lighting, some accents to help direct people towards the new dining and serving areas. In the addition, you can see here we've got kind of quartz striping on the floor. This is a poured resinous flooring, which is the district standard, which is going in all the new elementary schools. So that should be a nice product. We've got good acoustical absorption on the walls for durability, and also we do have the windows kind of up at the top that face north and kind of northeast. So you get some daylight in here without a bunch of glare. So that'll be nice. We got one main court, two little cross courts. And you'll see there's kind of a big bulldog on the side, and there's a louver up here. Since this is the storm shelter, it has some ventilation requirements. So the louvers are kind of there for that purpose. And then the restrooms and offices are kind of on the back there. That's the gist of the project. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. We'll give it a few minutes and then we'll circle back through for anyone that hasn't, may have been late.
Thank you so much for that presentation. One question we do have is about safety, especially during COVID. You said that it's like construction may begin in the spring. Are there any measures being taken in place as far as for COVID measures and others for safety for the children in the building and the staff in the building?
Yeah, the district has a fairly comprehensive construction guideline for COVID-related things, as well as for interior to the building. So students and staff have their measure. The construction teams have their measured in their procedures as well. So it's something the district does take very seriously in terms of not working around the students and physical barriers and things like that nature.
Great. We do want to remind everyone that if you're joining us, um, either if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to ask any questions that you may have in the chat, and we will share those with the project team. If you're joining us here on the Zoom link, please feel free to enter your questions on the chat room. Someone has asked a question, will they not have sports games? If so, where will the visitors sit? It's in particular for soccer.
I'm not real familiar with where they play soccer right now. I believe all the fields on the south are still going to be there.
Maybe the principal can ask the question regarding the sports teams and the soccer fields.
As far as soccer is concerned, then yes, the fields are still there to my knowledge as well. I'm thinking they're also wondering sports inside the gymnasium, which we can make sure that we have our benches set up. Seth, I'm not sure if like we would have any risers or anything. I'm sure not because of the size, but we could definitely put benches in there that's similar to what's in there now for our visitors.
Yeah, if you have something in there now, that would definitely work. There's no large built-in bleachers per se, though, at least at the elementary school level.
Great, thank you so much for that. If anyone else have any additional questions, we do want to know about the safety measures. In addition to the COVID measures, the children will be going on, school will be going on while construction is going on. What measures are taking place to make sure that there's no interference with the learning process and the learning environment?
So typically when there's a renovation going on at a school like this, the renovations are only happen at nighttime. So they'll do hard barriers, they'll partition off a few classrooms at a time, and then they'll basically move those over as needed. So they'll complete an area, move on to the next area, but there won't be any intermingling between students and the construction workers.
That's great. Also, we have another comment, another question. They're concerning about the gym and again about athletics. The comment is this is insufficient for volleyball, etc. And they're wanting to know if there's anything or adaptability or something that be going on within the new gym that will accommodate volleyball, soccer, and other sports for the children. And also there was a question regarding a follow-up question about the outside area improvements and what those look like.
So I'll answer the outside area improvements. So there's a new playground that's going to replace the old playground just to the east. So that will be there. There's also some renovations to the front. So the main drop-off area is getting some accessibility improvements. And there's a lot of sidewalks that are kind of off kilter and that sort of stuff. Those will all get replaced as well. And there'll be some sod and some replacement landscape irrigation. In terms of the area, so the new one is going to be about 6,000 square feet. The old gymnasium was about 2,700 square feet, give or take. So in terms of size, the actual area inside the gymnasium room is quite a bit larger. So in terms of volleyball, the volleyball won't actually take up that much of the area. There's a main court and then a cross court. There would be room for additional risers and stuff like that that you could put off to the side and still be able to play volleyball.
Thank you so much. And again, if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to ask any questions you may have. Place your questions in the comment section. We can share them. We do have another question regarding the child drop-off on Ferguson. Can you go into any more detail about what the new child drop-off will look like and how that will be improved?
Seth, this is Carl, if you want me to try to answer that one.
Yeah,
That'd be great, Carl.
Okay, the drop-off currently, there's some changes, as you're aware. If you live in the neighborhood, there's a traffic signal going in at the intersection with, and I apologize, I cannot think of the street name, it starts with an A. Right there in front of the school. we're gonna move our driveway down and get away from that sort of intersection there. But all that said, we're not gonna use Ferguson anymore as a pickup and drop off, because you're right, Ferguson's a big road and a lot of traffic on it. The pickup and drop off will be routed through the back parking lots, and come off of that way to keep the traffic and the drop off of Ferguson. Any buses that use the facility can still use that drop off area, but that's a little easier than all the cars. But so the idea is to move the traffic, the personal or car traffic off of Ferguson and come in off of, I guess that's Plummer, in that area there. Seth, if you want to show that site plan, yeah, come in off of that area in that back drive, and then go back out and come in through the back of the school and circulate. And then they can go off to Ferguson and go either left or right on Ferguson. But the drop off will not be in that front driveway. And you can see that plan shows the drive actually moving a little further down Ferguson to pick up a few more parking spaces and get out of that intersection. The city is building that intersection basically for the pedestrian traffic that crosses Ferguson there, that goes to the school.
Wonderful. If you can leave that site plan up, we have another question regarding the small playground. The question is the small playground being a replacement area? And if so, what is the square footage difference between the old and the new playground area?
The old one is being removed and there will be a new one. I don't know the exact size of the old one, but it is the new district standard for playground. So if we built a new school, it's the same thing you would get at a new school as you would at the old one. So it's really just the one that's kind of right there where number 3 is. The new one I can kind of, I might be able to draw. It's basically about that big.
Great. Again, we want to thank you, everyone, for joining us at this meeting today regarding the Bond 2015 renovations to Charles Gill Elementary School. We did have several people join us on Facebook a little bit late, so if you could prepare, project team, to go ahead and go through the slide presentation again. If you're joining us and you have any questions, if you're on Facebook, please feel free to ask your questions in the comments section on Facebook, and we will share them here. If you're on the Zoom chat, please be sure to ask your questions in the chat room. So if we want to go ahead and start again, we'll hold for the questions. If you have any additional questions, please please feel free to share those in the chat room or on Facebook. If you could go ahead and repeat the presentation. Thank you.
Chandra, you want to talk again, or do you want me to just go through the presentation again?
I just do a quick welcome for those who are just now joining us. I'm Ms. Robertson, your new building principal for the Charles A. Gill Elementary. So we're very excited to have you here today as we go through our bond and what renovations we will be getting for Charles Gill. So thank you for joining us. I'm not sure if Mr. Mishke or Mr. Stovall, our executive director, would like to say anything.
Well, I'll just add my thanks to everybody for joining us again. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments or in the chat. And I want to thank our taxpayers and citizens for voting for these bond improvements. Thank you.
And I'll just echo that as well. I'm Damian Stovall, Executive Director, former Principal Charles A. Gill Elementary, and I'm excited for this opportunity for Gill and the community. Thank you, taxpayers and everyone that has supported this. And I'm excited to see the renovations and everything that's happening for the campus as well. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Damian. So I am Seth Stevens. I'm the architect for the this renovation addition project. I've been working with the bond office with Dallas ISD, Principal Robertson, the previous principal, Kid Quick from Dallas ISD, David Downing, among others. So this is part of the 2015 bond program. So the 2015 bond program is kind of at the end here. So this is kind of in the last runs of that bond program before they move into the 2020 projects. There's two main portions, additions and renovations. The renovations include a fairly sizable kitchen expansion and renovation of the old gymnasium into a dining area, an administration renovation, which includes a new security vestibule and reception area, classroom finishes, marker boards, tack boards, flooring, paint, ceilings, new LED lighting, new PA and fire alarm system. And on the exterior side, which will be a little more noticeable, there's some main entrance site improvements to improve accessibility at the front, major window replacement, which is going to replace pretty much all the windows in the entire building. So that'll be noticeable and will help the thermal comfort of everyone in the building to give them a little more appropriate learning environment and also help save some money on energy costs for the district. There's also a lot of mechanical, electrical, and water and sewer replacements. So those items are not real noticeable from the outside, but it is a very significant portion of this project, and it is very noticeable for the people and the users of the building and the staff and the students to help them have the best environment they can learn in possible. The addition is a gymnasium and a storm shelter. It's sized to house the entire campus population and staff at 840 students. There's a basketball court, cross court, volleyball, 3 restrooms, an office, and a storage room. The construction is scheduled to begin in the spring of 2021. The design portion is pretty much done, and the project is bidding, and we open bids this week. So it's a kind of exciting point in the project. We'll start getting the construction started, and then the project should be completed around the end of summer 2022. So it'll still be a little bit of time, and there'll be some phased completions of various renovations of the building as they kind of take over little clusters of classrooms and work overnight and on the summer and holidays to get those kind of turned back over to the district. This is some pictures of the existing building, existing reception area, existing gym. Most of these spaces have not been renovated in quite some time. Building was built in 1950s, so it's been quite a while. So this is the existing dining area. So this will turn into the kitchen. On the site plan, you can kind of see there's some entrance renovations going on. We're going to replace some of the broken sidewalk. There'll be a new marquee sign on the corner. Will be accessibility improvements that we have over here to the front and kind of improve the entrance as much as we can. The number 3 is the storm shelter and gymnasium. And where my cursor is right here is where the new younger level playground equipment will be. So the addition will displace the existing playground equipment, so we'll need to put some new stuff off to the side. Actually, I saw a question, so I'm just going to address that while I'm going through this. As far as the portables go, this particular project does not address any of the portables, so there may be a future project that will help get rid of those off the campus, but this particular scope is a little bit different than addressing the classroom count, so that may be on a future project. The green areas are the areas that are getting renovated, so a lot of renovation in the campus. The front has the security and admin renovation. The number 14 over here is the cafeteria. The 13 is the dining area, and then number 8 is the gymnasium. So you can see the gymnasium, the new gymnasium is about double size as the old gymnasium. So will be much more usable for the campus. Level 2, there's also some classroom renovations going on in there as well. Mostly just interior finishes, lighting, HVAC. On the outside, you can kind of notice the new windows, some new planters, accessible ramps, and access in the front. We're going to replace a lot of the broken sidewalks that's kind of are along the front of this building right now. Some of them are kind of off kilter and other. On the back this is the storm shelter edition, the gymnasium. There are a few windows in there. They are storm rated windows and they do face kind of north, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of glare going on through those. This particular picture shows you where the old admin was. So we're going to put some trophy cases in there. The new admin reception check-in area. And this looks back towards the security vestibule. So you'll go in and then you'll check in at the admin, and then if cleared, you'll be allowed into the rest of the building. This is the old gymnasium, which is being renovated into the dining area. Lots of nice windows. We've got some acoustical treatments to help keep it a little quieter in there. And this is the gymnasium. And you can kind of see this inner green ring is the volleyball court. So you've got probably 10 or 15 feet on both sides that you could put extra stands on if you've got a large crowd. And that's about it. If there's any questions, post them in the chat and we'll take a look at them. Thank you.
We don't have any questions right now, but we are getting a lot of favorable responses and comments on our Facebook celebrating this wonderful new addition and renovation to this campus. Now, we do have a question that just came up. Will a giant blow-up bulldog be allowed on the top of the gym for the win? I give 2 thumbs up. This sounds like a much-needed area to get improvement. The school, staff, and kids really deserve this. Thank you, Dallas.
I like that idea.
Great suggestion.
Structurally, that's acceptable.
Great. Again, if you're joining us,
I'd
Go
just
ahead.
like to add one other thing. So as we said at the top of this meeting, this is the part of the 2015 bond program, and you can see that it takes a while for all of the projects from a bond program to start rolling out. The 2020 bond program, 2 of the propositions, the 2 largest ones, were passed, and they include some additional upgrades, and these will be mostly security upgrades, including cameras, card access readers, door contacts, and then a metal detector type system. So that will be coming later, but it'll be coming to Gill, along with there's an allocation for some new flexible furniture that would be part of that 2020 bond program. But this school has been long overdue, like so many of our schools, for improvements, and I'm very glad to see that Gill will be seeing them very, very soon. This is great news for this community.
Thank you so much, Trustee Mishke. Again, if you have any questions, if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to submit your questions in the comment section of Facebook. We will be glad to answer them here live. And if you're joining us on the Zoom link, please feel free to enter any questions you have or comments in the chat window. We'll wait for a few more minutes to see if we have any additional questions coming in. And again, if you want to keep up to date on this and other Bond 2015 projects, please visit dallasisd.org/Bond 2015. There you will see updated information on the Bond 2015 projects. And as Bond 2020 progresses in the planning stages, we will have additional information regarding those projects and the phasing of those on our Bond 2020 website. We're getting a lot of very favorable comments and thumbs up and hearts and likes on our Facebook feed. Ms. Principal Robertson, if you would like to close us out today, I think we're done with all of our questions from the community. Again, please keep up to date on this and other Bond 2015 and Bond 2020 projects by visiting dallasisd.org. For Bond 2015, this project will have its own project page activated within the week. You can visit it at www.dallasisd.org/bond 2015. Principal, if you would mind closing us out this evening, that'd be great.
Of course, again, I would like to thank everyone for your attendance this evening. We really, truly do support all of this, appreciate all of the support given to us by Dallas ISD, our trustee, our awesome executive director, as well as the construction site team. We really do thank you, parents and community taxpayers, for all of your support that you've continued to give Gill down through the years. And lastly, we are here for any questions. So if there's anything that you all think about after this meeting tonight, feel free to contact us on campus, and I will try my best to answer any questions that I can. And if not, I'll definitely reach out to Seth and Quick and ask them for any information that I may not be able to provide you with. So thank you again so much for attending tonight. We truly appreciate you joining us this Monday evening. And lastly, I don't know if Mr. Stovall or Mr. Mishke has anything to close us out as well.
No, thank you everyone for participating. We appreciate everybody's interest, and we appreciate the work of our staff and the architect. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, trustee, for joining us this evening as well. Again, thank you for joining us and for having questions and allowing us to serve and to be your educational partner for your family with Dallas ISD. A copy of this video of the meeting itself will be posted on the district's website and also is available on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So if you know of anyone who was unable to join us today, they can certainly go on and see the presentation and hear the comments and participate, and always send us questions as well. Again, thanks so much for joining. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.